I grew up in a what-if household. This means we never got rid of anything because we might need it just in case. In a what-if household, there is always a reason to keep something. What if we need it later? What if it becomes useful? What if we can fix it someday? What if someone might want it? And the intention behind that isn't bad. You're being resourceful and not wanting to waste things. But over time, that mindset slowly turns into clutter. Because when every object has a possible future purpose, suddenly it feels irresponsible to let anything go. Hi everyone, it's Audrey, and today's video is how to ditch that what-if mindset. If you find this video helpful, please interact with it so it guides more people to it. And if you're ready, hit the subscribe button and we'll get started. I had a very different childhood. I was mature and empathetic from a young age, which allowed me to understand people's actions from a more objective perspective. Even as a child, I could see the invisible threads that connected people to their choices and their behaviors. I could observe patterns that others might miss. So growing up, I could clearly see that my mom had developed a deep sense of security and safety through her possessions. So I really never struggled with my stuff the way she did. I could easily let go of things because I didn't tie my security or my self-worth to objects. While she found comfort and safety in keeping everything, I didn't. Even as a child, I understood that my life wasn't defined by the things that I owned. It was defined by my relationships. And because I didn't have that perspective that she had when it came to possessions as a child, and I looked at everything very objectively, it's something that I've been able to do my whole life, is I've always been able to objectively look at objects for what they really are, and I've been able to successfully guide people away from their clutter because of it. So that's what I really want to talk about today, is the problem that most people have with the what if. The problem with the what if thinking is that it prioritizes imaginary scenarios over your real life today. You're not keeping something because you use it. You're keeping it because of a story about a future that might never happen. As a professional organizer, I see this all the time. People aren't attached to the item itself. They're attached to the idea of needing it someday. In reality, most what-if scenarios never happen. And when they do, we usually just figure it out. We borrow, we buy a replacement, we make do, we go without. When you hold on to objects that aren't serving you, you're sacrificing space, calm, and simplicity in your home today for a problem that may never exist. So here are 5 steps to ditch the what-if mindset. Number 1, you need to understand the psychology behind the what-if. Have you ever heard of confirmation bias? I've talked about this before, but this is the psychological tendency to recall information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs. It sounds like a big deal. I promise it's not that deep. So like the phrase, as soon as I got rid of it, I needed it. That is confirmation bias. You didn't need it. You just subconsciously made yourself confirm this pre-existing belief. From a psychology perspective, the what-if mindset is fueled by anxiety, which makes your brain super hyper-focused on potential threats or problems. Confirmation bias kicks in because your brain selectively notices information that supports your fear and ignores evidence that contradicts it. So an example with your clutter. You may keep an old kitchen gadget because you think, what if I need this? So then every time you see it, your brain highlights your reasons to keep it. See, I might need it someday. But you ignore the evidence that you haven't used it in 5 years. Essentially, your brain is constantly confirming your what-if fears, which makes it feel like letting go is dangerous, even when reality says otherwise. When I started letting go of the what-if mindset, I began asking better questions when I was decluttering, like my magic question, can I live without it? And the 3 questions that go with the SUM method. Space utilization management. If you need details on those, you can find them in my Decluttering for Beginners video. I don't want to really bog down this video with a bunch of information, so I'm just going to leave it there. If you want that more in depth, then go check out that video. Let's move on to step 2, and that's reframing the what if. Psychologically, a key step is cognitive reframing. I know I'm using a lot of big words today because these are all terms and they are all things I use. I typically just speak very plainly, so just stick with me for all the big words. But cognitive reframing, this is where you replace your fear-based thoughts with more realistic alternatives. Instead of saying, what if I need this someday? Try, what's the likelihood I'll actually use this? And could I just replace it if I needed to? This works because the brain needs evidence, not imagination, to feel safe. All right, so we have to reframe those thoughts. We need to replace the fear with the reality. All right, step 3, exposure to decision making. You need to gradually face the fear instead of avoiding it. So start with small items that you're unsure about. Let go of them and then notice the outcome. So gradually your brain learns releasing this doesn't lead to disaster like you originally thought. So start small. Start with small items, $5 items, $10 items, and just really be cognizant of how you feel about those. All right, step 4, separate objects from identity or security. Much of what if thinking is about attaching meaning or safety to things. We know that, right? Identify the true need behind an item. Remember the sum method here. Do I have space for it? Do I use it? Can I maintain it? Once you realize that objects are tools, not emotional anchors, the what if fear loses its power. And finally, step 5, get comfortable with not knowing. People who get stuck in what if thinking usually hate not knowing what's going to happen. The trick is to practice making small decisions anyway and seeing that usually things turn out fine, right? We obsess and exaggerate and get anxious about everything. The more you do it, the more the brain learns, I can handle it, even if I don't know what will happen. An example would be to donate something small that was a just-in-case item, and you notice that life goes on perfectly fine. Over time, this trains your brain to tolerate uncertainty. If you grew up in a what-if household, it makes sense that letting things go can feel uncomfortable, right? Like we are changing our thought patterns. We're changing how we used to behave. You were taught that keeping things was the responsible thing to do. But your home doesn't need to hold every possible future scenario. It should support the life you're living right now. I want you to experience the clarity from living with less. So ditch the what if mindset today. If you need more help on this, let me know in the comments. If you need me to explain things more thoroughly, let me know. I'm trying to keep it really surfacey to help you grasp your head around this without getting too bogged down in details, okay? So if you need more information, let me know, and I will see you all in Sunday's video.